Hey everybody, and welcome to Kyle's Wild and Wacky World. I know, I'm not Kyle. I'm just filling in for him today for a very special explainer. And despite the show's title, we're not going to get too wacky. Instead, we're going deep. We're getting right to the heart of a really personal idea: the journey to finding your true self. So let's start with this right here. This sentence. This is the theme for our entire explainer today. It's such a powerful idea, right? It connects who we are on the inside with what we're actually meant to do out in the world. And it gets at a feeling I think we've all had: that little gap between the person we show everyone and the person we really, truly are. I mean, really think about it for a second. Have you ever been at a new job or maybe in a meeting and you've got that nagging little voice in your head going, any minute now, they're going to realize I have no idea what I'm doing? That feeling, that sense of being an imposter, that's what we're going to break down today. Okay, so if we're going to get comfortable in our own skin and, find that destiny we just talked about, we first have to understand the wall that's blocking the path. And for so many of us, that wall is built brick by brick with self-doubt. Just look at this number. This shows you how incredibly common this is. According to research in the International Journal of Behavioral Science, a whopping 70% of people will feel like an imposter at some point. So if this is you, you're not just not alone. You're in the vast majority. You're in the club. And yeah, this feeling actually has a name: imposter syndrome. And the key part of this definition is right there at the end. It's when you look at something you've achieved, something you worked for, and your first thought is, wow, I just got lucky, instead of, wow, I earned that. You're literally erasing your own effort from the story. But here's an amazing way to flip the script on this, and it comes from author Mel Robbins. She says that feeling like an imposter isn't actually a sign that you're a fraud. No way. It's a sign that you are pushing yourself. You're trying something new. You're learning. You're stepping outside your comfort zone. In other words, you're growing. And let's be honest, growth is always a little uncomfortable at first. And this whole idea really boils down to the difference between two core mindsets. If you have a fixed mindset, you believe your talents are just, well, fixed. You've got what you've got. So if you struggle, it feels like a final verdict on your abilities. But with a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities. You believe you can get better with effort. It's not about being good enough, it's about being willing to get better. So all of that leads us to this massive turning point. Because understanding the problem is great, but solving it, that takes a total shift in how we think. We have to stop seeing this as a problem of how we feel and start seeing it as a solution based on what we do. Because confidence, it's not a feeling, it's an action. Listen, this is so important. For most of our lives, we've had it completely backwards. We sit around waiting to feel confident before we'll take a risk. But the research is clear. Confidence isn't some magical trait you're born with. It's a skill you build. And it all starts with one simple choice: the willingness to try even when you're terrified. And here's the science behind why that works. It's called the confidence-competence loop. It's so cool. Every single time you are willing to try something, you learn. I mean, even if you fail miserably, you learn what not to do. That little bit of learning gives you a tiny piece of competency. And that competency makes it just a little bit easier to try again, which builds more confidence. See the loop? It all starts with that first courageous decision to just go for it. And this idea connects perfectly with how we think about destiny. Your destiny isn't some magical path that's already laid out for you. Just like confidence, it's something you build. It's the sum of all the little choices you make, all the moments you decide to try. You are the one who decides. Okay, so we have totally reframed the problem and the solution. So now for the fun part, the tools. We're going to move from all this theory into some real, practical strategies you can actually start using, like today. This is your empowerment toolkit. So the big question is, how do you actually do that? How do you make yourself willing to try when your knees are knocking and your brain is screaming no? How do you build that skill of confidence? Well, let's break it down. To build our toolkit, we're going to lean on the work of a legendary psychologist, Albert Bandura. He figured out there are 4 main ways we build self-belief. First, mastery experiences. That's just a fancy term for your own wins, your successes. Second, the curious experiences. That's seeing other people just like you, succeed and thinking, hey, if they can do it, maybe I can too. Third is verbal persuasion. That awesome feeling when someone you trust tells you, you've got this. And last are emotional states. Learning to feel those nervous butterflies and call them excitement instead of fear. Our toolkit hits all 4 of these.
All right, tool number 1 comes from Mel Robbins, and it is designed to shatter hesitation. The moment you feel yourself starting to doubt or overthink, you just count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you physically move. You launch yourself. Raise your hand, start typing, get up from the couch. It's a simple act of courage. And you have to remember, courage always comes before the confidence.
Okay, tool number 2 helps you figure out which direction to move in. It's so simple, it's almost silly. At any given moment, just ask yourself this one question. Of all the things I could do right now, what's the most exciting? It might just be making a cup of tea instead of scrolling on your phone. But when you keep choosing the path of excitement, you start to discover what you're truly passionate about.
Tool number 3 is absolutely crucial for when you try something and it doesn't work out. Instead of beating yourself up, you have to practice self-compassion. Seriously, think about it. If your best friend failed at something, what would you say to them? You'd be kind and encouraging, right? Research from Dr. Kristen Neff shows that doing that for yourself is a superpower for building the resilience to get back up and try again. And our final tool is for dealing with that loud, annoying inner critic. When that voice starts saying you're a fraud or you're not good enough, you need to challenge it. Ask it, okay, where's the evidence for that thought? Is it 100% true? And then ask yourself this killer question. Would I ever say this to someone I love? The answer is almost always no. So why on earth are you saying it to yourself? So what happens when you actually start using these tools? When you start acting with courage, following what excites you, and being kind to yourself along the way? Well, you start to arrive at the destination, living a life that is authentically yours, in your own skin, on your own terms.
And this is the ultimate prize, authentic expression. It's the freedom to be all of you, your weird quirks, your nerdy passions, your imperfections, the whole shebang, and to just put it out there without constantly worrying about what other people are going to think.
And the rewards for taking this journey, they're incredible. You start to discover who you really are deep down. You build real, meaningful connections with people who love you for you. You feel this amazing release of stress and anxiety, and you kickstart this incredible upward spiral of personal growth.
Now, the legendary psychologist Carl Jung said it best. This isn't exactly a walk in the park. Facing all parts of ourselves, that can be genuinely terrifying. But what's on the other side of that fear is this deep, profound sense of peace. It's probably the bravest thing any of us will ever do.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with destiny being a choice. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The tools are right here, the choice is yours. So the only question left is, who will you decide to be?